Welcome to class number 16. In this class we will discuss about different types of OSPF areas. In the previous class we discussed different types of LSAs. Now in this class we discuss about different types of OSPF areas. So from the previous class we know that there are mainly SLAs starting from 1 to 11, but the main used one are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. So type 1 and 2 LSAs, they are used to learn about the routes within area. So using these two types of link state advertisements, every router in the area learns about other networks in the same area. So when routers in one area wants to learn about routes of another area, they will learn by the type 3 LSAs. So this will be generally generated by the area border routers. And type 4 and 5 are about external routes. So how an area learn about external routes means non-OSPF routes is whenever there is an in area, if it has a connection to non-OSPF network, it will advertise those networks through using type 4 and 5 LSAs, and they will be flooded to another areas. These are non-OSPF routes. Basically, ASBR, Autonomous System Border Router, will have connectivity with different routing source other than the OSPF. And type 7 LSA, we didn't discuss this in the previous class. So type 7 LSA is about external networks, but this is only applicable to NSSA area. Okay, so we will discuss what is NSS area. So let's see. So backbone area is main area. So area number 0. It will allow all types of LSAs within this area. So type 1 and 2 for the networks within the area, and type 3 is for inter-area routes, and type 4 and 5 for the external routes. So as you can see, type 7 is only applicable for NSSA area. Okay. So backbone area allows 1 to 5. Standard area is similar to the backbone area, but it is not area 0. But it will also allow all LSA types from 1 to 5. And stub area. So whenever you see the word stub in any area type, you should remember that these type of areas won't allow type 4 and 5 LSAs. That means it won't allow any updates, link state updates for the external networks, non-OSPF networks. So then how they will reach or learn about the external networks? So in these areas, ABR will generate a default route to reach the external networks. Okay. So the thing to remember here is, if you see the keyword stub in any area, it won't allow type 4 and 5 LSAs. That means it won't learn about external networks using these LSAs. So you won't see these type of LSAs in this area. If you type show IP database, you won't see any type 4 and type 5 LSAs. So how they will learn, how they can reach the external networks? ABR within that area will send all other routers to a default route to reach the external networks. Default route means to reach any IP 0.0.0. So let's look at totally stub area. In totally stub area, if you can see, it is only allowing type 1 and 2. Means in a totally stub area, routers will learn about their own area networks. They don't know anything about inter-area routes and the external routes. So in this case also, ABR will generate a default route to reach inter-area and external routes as well. So not so stubby area, NSSA area. So this area, normally whenever you see the stub, it won't allow type 4 and 5 LSAs, right? But NSSA area can allow external networks using the type 7 LSA. Okay. So this is like kind of exception. So if you can see, type 7 is only present in NSSA area. So in NSSA area, it will have connectivity to external network, but it does not learn any type 4 and type 5 LSAs from other areas. Okay, we will see within the diagrams if it is confusing for now, but NSS area you can have external network connecting to it. You can inject non-OSPF routes into NSS area. So they will use special type 7 LSA to flood that information within the area. So the configuration, how we can configure an area like a different type is, we go to configuration mode and then we go enter into the OSPF configuration, then we type area and we give the area ID for suppose area 2, and we will tell what type of area it is. For suppose NSS we will type like this. Okay, this is how you configure area type. So in this slide we will discuss about type 1 to LSS. So if you can see in the diagram, so there is a backbone area, area 0, and let's say this is standard area, this is stub, this is totally stub, this is not so stubby NSS. So if you can see type 1 and 2 LSS means routers within the same area will learn about all other router networks within the same area using these LSS. So type 1 and 2 allowed everywhere, because every router within the same area needs to know about the networks present in the same area. Okay. Next, inter-area routes. Let's see. So inter-area routes allowed in all areas except total stub area. Okay. So for suppose if you have a network here, let's say 10.0.0.0/24. So all other areas like backbone, stub and NSSA learn about this network using type 3 LSA. So this ABR will send type 3 LSA to here and it will send it here, here and here. It will be regenerated here. Okay. But here, as this is a totally stub area, it won't allow this type of LSA. So in this case, this totally stub area will not know anything about the 10.0.0/24 network, because this totally stub area not allowing this type 3 LSA. Okay. So how we can tell that totally stub area to reach 10? So ABR in this network, what it will do is, if you have multiple routers here, so ABR will send the default route, means 0.0.0. Okay. So it will generate a type 3 LSA with the default route. Okay. So I said it's not allowing type 3 LSAs, right? So it will not allow type 3 SLAs except the default route, this area. Okay. So that's why ABR is sending default route, so that any router within this network will know that to reach 10 they need to send it to ABR, and ABR will send it to the backbone and it will go there. Okay. So in totally stub area, only 1 and 2 type of LSAs allowed, and type 3 is allowed on all other types of area. So in this topology, now we are trying to, for suppose we have an ASBR, means it will connect or it will have routes from non-OSPF source. So let's say we have some BGP configured and we are advertising the 10 network here, 10.0.0/24. Okay, so as you can see here, type 4 and 5 LSAs will not be forwarded to any of the stub areas. So these updates, so normally ABR here will send type 4 and ASBR will send type 5. So this will go to the backbone, because backbone area allows type 4 and 5. Standard area allows 4 and 5. But these updates won't go to any of the stub area. Stub area won't allow any external routes through LSA type 4 and 5. Okay. So these three stub areas, stub, totally stub and NSS not so stubby, will not know about the network of 10.0.0. So in order to reach that network, what ABR will do within the each area is, it will generate the default route with the type 3 LSA. So this is exception. So type 3 LSA with the default route. Okay. So then all the areas will learn, all the routers within each area will learn a default route. So they will use to send traffic to this network. Whenever they want to send traffic to this network, they will match this particular default route and it will go out. Okay. So what if there is a requirement to have external routes to some of the stub area? In that case, that's why we have not so stubby area. So normally stub area won't allow any external network LSA types like 4 and 5, right? But the exception for the area is NSSA. NSSA will allow external routes. Okay, but as they won't allow 4 and 5 type of LSAs, NSSA will use a special type of LSA which is type 7, which is same as 4 and 5, carrying information about the external network, but as they are not allowed in the stub area, it is using type 7 as an exception. So whenever ASB are receiving some route, it will send the external network information using the type 7 LSAs. So that update will reach all the routers within the area. Then how other routers in the network or in other areas, how they can reach or know about this particular external network learned in the NSSA. So the ABR in the NSS area, whenever it receives this type 7 LSA, it will convert that information into type 4 and 5 LSA. Type 4 is telling about where the ASBR is, and type 5 is what is the external network. So these 4 and 5 allowed in the backbone area, so it will go here, and it is allowed in the standard area. Okay, but they are not allowed into stub and totally stub, but they can reach this network because they have a default route. So default route points to the ABR for all the routers within these two areas, so it will come here. Once it comes here, they will know about this network because backbone received the information with the type 4 and 5 LSA. Okay, so NSSA is an exception in the stub area where it will allow external routes using type 7 LSA, and the ABR in the NSS area, whenever it receives a type 7 LSA from ASBR, it will convert that information into type 4 and 5 and will send it to the backbone area in this topology. So then if we look, so in this topology we have two external sources for the routes for the non-OSPF. So one is coming into the standard area. This will use type 4 and 5, and whenever external route comes into the NSS area, it will use type 7. Okay, so as you can see, I have labeled what are all the LSAs allowed in each area. Backbone allows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Standard area allows also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stub allows 1, 2, 3 LSAs. Totally stub only allows 1, 2, and NSSA allows 1, 2, 3 and 7. So with 1, 2 routes, we will know about the routes within the same area. With type 3, we learn about inter-area routes. With type 4 and 5, we learn about external routes coming into the standard area. With type 7, we will learn about external routes coming into the NSS area. So ABR in NSS area, whenever it receives a type 7 LSA, it will generate type 4 and 5 and it will go here. Okay. So there is no particular lab for this class, but you need to remember this information. What are all the area types and what are the LSAs allowed within the each area, and how ABR generates a default route whenever there is an external route or type 3 LSAs not allowed within the area. Okay. That's all for this class. We will do the lab for this one after the BGP, where we do some injecting some BGP routes into the OSPF topology. Then we can examine different area types and how the routes are being learned in within each area. See you in the next class.